The tension you carry between your shoulder blades doesn't go away because it still hasn't found a way to drain. You stretch, you massage, you crack your back, you feel some relief for a few minutes, and then the pressure returns, as if the muscle had its own memory of tightening. This rhomboid pain isn't stubborn tissue, it's a support pattern that's settled in too deep to be reached by surface gestures. The path to dissolving this knot moves through 3 distinct layers of depth. Each layer reveals something the previous one can't reach. In the first, the body creates space. In the second, it meets resistance and learns how to support itself without locking up. In the third, something happens that you may never have felt before. The tension starts to drain, like liquid that finally finds a slope. Most people stop at the first level and assume they've done enough. Those who move through all 3 layers discover that the rhomboid never needed to be forced. It needed a complete pathway to release what it was holding. The rhomboid isn't just a muscle that hurts, it's a guardian that forgot how to rest. It connects the shoulder blade to the spine and is meant to let the bone glide freely across the back, following every breath, every movement of the arms. When the body enters a prolonged state of alert, that freedom disappears. The shoulder blade fixes in place, the rhomboid compresses between bone edges and fascial tissue, and pain settles in like a permanent tenant. The problem was never shortening, it was a watchfulness that never ended. Ancient traditions treated the space between the shoulder blades as a portal of load and release. What the chest couldn't contain and the arms couldn't let go of would gather there, an invisible altar where weight that didn't fit into words was placed. Those who carried too much felt the back harden, as if the body were building a wall to avoid collapsing. The wisdom of those cultures never separated muscle from story. They understood that some pains only ease when what they support finds another destination. Neuroscience later revealed the mechanism behind this rigidity. When the nervous system doesn't register safety, it maintains high tone in the structures that protect the center of the body. The rhomboid is part of that system. It tightens to stabilize, but that tightening turns into a prison because it never receives the signal that it can stop. Going deeper through the layers isn't about forcing relaxation, it's about offering the tissue the experience it never had. When the muscle finally senses support, it lets go, not from exhaustion, but from recognition.
Before we continue, it's important to know that this pain between the shoulder blades is rarely resolved with a single gesture. It asks for continuity, layers that organize in the body the same way this pattern of support organized itself over time. That's why I created a guide called Healing in Motion, 22 somatic cycles to release trauma, restore flow, and create again. In this material, the rhomboid appears as part of a larger map of discharge, tracking, and reorganization of the back. The link is in the first pinned comment. That's where the body continues what begins here. With that said, we arrive at the first layer because the body needs permission before change. At this stage, nothing is being released, posture isn't corrected, and no opening is forced. This layer exists to create access, to return a sense of territory to the back, and to quiet the noise that blocks any real release. When the rhomboid lives in vigilance, it won't accept direct intervention. Before it can drain, the tension needs to feel that there's enough space to exist without holding up the world. Bring your attention to the area between your shoulder blades, as if you were lighting up a dark hallway. Without moving your shoulders, allow the air to reach your back, as if the back ribs had lungs of their own. This is not about expanding the chest, it's about letting the back receive volume from behind. The reference isn't at the front of the body, but in the subtle sense of internal pressure between the shoulder blades. It works when the air feels like it's touching the place where the pain usually lives. If nothing changes at first, don't adjust the gesture, adjust the time. Some bodies need more staying power to trust they won't be forced. If you notice too much rigidity, soften the intention and simply follow the contact of the air with your back. If there's a strong urge to open the shoulders, let that urge pass without acting on it. This layer responds better to neutrality than to effort. You know you've crossed this first layer when something stops tightening and simply exists. There may be more space between the shoulder blades, less weight, or a faint sense of internal support. Nothing dramatic, just different from the usual pattern. Many people stop here because the relief already feels sufficient. But when the body finds this first access point, it also reveals that there's something beyond it, waiting to be crossed. In the second layer, the quality shifts. The area between the shoulder blades is no longer just being observed, it starts to respond. An impulse may arise to pull back, to return to the familiar pattern, as if the body preferred known pain over an unfamiliar sense of looseness. This resistance isn't an obstacle or a sign of error. It's the rhomboid itself testing whether it can support less without losing function. Keeping your attention on the back, now invite a minimal gesture of muscular participation. Gently imagine the shoulder blades moving slightly toward each other, as if holding something for an instant, too brief to cause fatigue. The contraction is small, contained, almost internal, and lasts only long enough to register presence. Then allow that effort to dissolve slowly, with no rush to arrive anywhere. What matters is the passage between supporting and releasing, not the amount of force. When resistance shows up, it often appears as an urge to tighten more, to correct, or to abandon the gesture altogether. Instead of following that impulse, stay in the middle, feeling the muscle as it hesitates. Supporting here doesn't mean holding tension, it means tolerating the transition. If the mind tries to speed things up, return to the slow rhythm of release. This level asks for conscious staying, not intensity.
You'll know you've crossed this layer when the rhomboid no longer responds with immediate defense. The shoulder blade begins to yield in small gliding movements, and the sensation between the shoulder blades loses density. The effort required decreases, even if it hasn't disappeared completely. This is where many people stop, satisfied with the clear improvement. But once the body crosses this middle ground, it's already ready for something deeper than relief. As you enter the third layer, the body is no longer the same as when it began. Something has been crossed along the way, and it shows up as less internal urgency. The rhomboid is no longer in constant alert, it's simply present. There's no longer a need to prepare or to sustain effort. Here, the practice changes tone because the tissue already recognizes it can go further without protecting itself. Now invite the simplest gesture of all. After a brief contraction, let the release happen without guiding it. Don't push the exit. Don't follow it with intention. Allow the muscle to find, on its own, the speed of draining that feels safe. Your attention stays, but without directing. It's in this space that the rhomboid realizes it no longer needs to hold any form at all. At this level, subtle signs of reorganization may appear. A sense of weight moving downward along the back, a gentle warmth between the shoulder blades, or a quiet where there used to be tightening. Some notice the shoulder blade settling more comfortably against the back. Others simply realize the body has stopped holding something it didn't even know it was holding. All of these are possibilities, not goals. When the release reaches its natural point of completion, nothing else needs to be done. All three layers have been crossed without haste and without collapse. The back tends to remain more spacious, with less need for adjustment. Breathing finds the back more easily. What remains now is a body that supports only what's necessary and lets the rest drain away. This new state confirms itself through concrete signals in the body. The shoulder blades begin to rest with less urgency, and the center of the back no longer works in constant vigilance. To anchor this, place the palm of one hand between your shoulder blades for a few seconds, feeling the contact spread. This isn't adjustment or correction,
It's a tactile seal of internal organization. This simple gesture helps the body avoid slipping automatically back into the old pattern. When the familiar pressure starts to form again between the shoulder blades, treat it as information, not as failure. Return to the first layer and allow the backspace to reorganize once more. If you notice the muscle trying to hold, move through the second layer as well, with the same care. It won't always be necessary to go all the way to maximum depth. Sometimes, simply reopening access is enough to interrupt the cycle of excessive support. What establishes itself over time is a different relationship with your own load. Less need to endure everything, more clarity about what truly needs to be supported. If this kind of approach helps you inhabit your body more fully, liking the video and subscribing keeps this work alive. Turning on notifications ensures continuity for those who use the body as a reference, not just the mind. And if you want a broader path beyond this video, the guide, Healing in Motion, 22 Somatic Cycles to Release Trauma, Restore Flow, and Create Again, deepens this layered logic and is available in the first pinned comment. To seal what was reorganized here, there's a simple way to register it within your own system. When you write, the body recognizes that something has changed and stops treating this release as a passing event. This isn't a mental affirmation, it's a bodily mark translated into words. Write in the comments, "I let rhomboid tension drain away, and the pain between my shoulder blades no longer governs me." When support learns how to release, the whole body finds space to breathe again.